Tell us a brief or even semi-brief synopsis of who you are and where you came from, your backstory, and we'll just jump off from there.
Awesome. So I'm kind of a mess of details from my past. I grew up in this ministry family, like church ministry and preachers and stuff like that, where my uncle, my dad, a lot of my family members are those TV preachers who preach what's called the prosperity gospel. They'll tell people, if you just believe in Jesus, if you believe in God and you give them money and you do this, then you're going to be happy, you're going to be healthy, you're going to be wealthy. So you're going to be rich. And if you give, God's going to give you a bunch of money. So I grew up in that, believed it, been there, done that, bought the t-shirt, the whole deal. And right around college, stuff wasn't adding up. So friends of mine, this gal in my school, my high school, actually pre-college, got cancer. And we couldn't heal her. And meanwhile, our family, a lot of the preachers in the family were like, I can heal anyone if they just believe. So going through all that, I started to question my faith.
Sure.
Nowadays, they'll call this like deconstruction. I wasn't deconstructing to just go, all religion is garbage, God's not real, I need to deconstruct. I was going, what I'm so dogmatic about, I really want to be certain. And I wasn't. I grew up in a family that is very close, Middle Eastern family. So mixture of, like, I've called it before, a mixture between the royal family and the mafia. Super loyal, never go against family. You don't question nothing. If something's shady, you just kind of go, well, whatever, that's my family. You don't ever go against the family. So as I got into college and beyond, I started to question some of the beliefs. We were hitting the news, like Dateline NBC did a thing on our family, all these news organizations. We were out there, and controversy was not uncommon.
Sure.
And we used to just chalk it up to like, oh, the devil's attacking us. The devil's trying to bring us down. We're somebody. I grew up flying on a Gulfstream, like we're flying G4, G5.
It's like the righteous gemstones, man.
yeah. So like there's reality shows on this.
Yeah.
There's everything under the sun. So people probably listening go, oh yeah, I know exactly what he's talking about. Or was it that crazy? And the answer is yeah. So in college, I drove the biggest H2 Hummer on 22s, and like, my spare tire had a 22.
And you played ball, right?
I did, yeah. So went into college playing baseball. TVs in the car, chrome package type stuff. And all of this it's fine if you are in business or if you own a gym like this or if you're doing good. These were like poor people and sick people and even rich people giving donations to our family, believing that we're this super spiritual, super anointed family. And if they give to us, then God's going to bless their business. Right, we were hanging out with I won't name him just out of respect, but an owner of a very large, very well-known sports team, multiple sports teams, a restaurant chain,
politicians
for sure. So boxers, athletes. At one point, this is fine to say, but at one point, at one of the big like events we had, Sister was there. I don't know how old you are, but back in the day, there was this show called Sister. It was Tia and Tamara. They were like the old kind of Full House. Okay. They were at our events. It was crazy. There were Boston Red Sox players at this one event.
Like celebrity fight night.
Totally. I would go. So we did a huge event at the United Center. We did another one up in Canada. And everywhere we'd go, all I cared about was, can I go see the locker room? So it's like, I want to go see where MJ is at United Center, Chicago. So it was kind of like just a celebrity life for me to grow up in and have fun and enjoy it all. We traveled the world, but eventually started questioning a lot of the practices and going, okay, so I believe in God and I believe the Bible. If you're going to stand up and say you speak on behalf of God or anything, you better know what you're talking about and you better tell the truth. And I better be able to look at the authoritative measuring stick. So for me, the Bible, and say, okay, the Bible's the authority. That's the measuring stick. So everyone who claims to speak for God has to level up with that. It'd just be like if I kicked you out of here today and I'm like, hey, Strict Vision Athletics, I'm your trainer. And they're like, okay, what are we doing? I'm like, and making it up. Where's the standard?
Where's the validation? Yeah,
totally. So for me, I started reading the Bible, and it wasn't even hard. It was obvious what God says in the Bible and what we were saying were two very different things.
Right.
So I went through this long stretch of moving away from all that And God took me on this journey where I just said, if the Bible says it and that's what it is, that's what I'm sticking to. Don't care if it's family, don't care anyone. So my loyalties changed.
How long was that stretch? I mean, I've been curious about that as well.
Yeah.
That transition, I mean, you say it in one sentence, but I'm sure it happened over a slow amount of time.
It did. High school, started questioning, but you don't go against family. College, that freedom. I ended up in Dallas playing baseball at a D1 there, Dallas Baptist University. And that was where I really started to sort of go, I think there's some freedom here to explore without repercussion. And then out of that, I met my wife, and she was not part of our circle. And so the first thing everybody was concerned about is like, who's this girl from California who is not from our little inside circle?
Sure.
She is not going to drink the Kool-Aid, and she didn't. And so
typically in that situation, out of curiosity, would your parents, I mean, dare I say, even arrange a marriage or a relationship for you or your siblings, or how would that work?
Yeah, so you would get strong mafia-like suggestions on who would be a good fit for the family.
Yeah,
you know? And so. And I meet Christine, and I'm just going like, this is it. And she didn't fit the bill at that time for all the reasons why I married her.
Right.